Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. It is the Sad Pirate King here, and here are my thoughts on One Piece chapter 1010. First of all, my goodness, what a hell of a chapter. Oda continues to put out banger after banger. I was so hyped after reading this chapter. My two favorite characters in One Piece are Zoro and Luffy, so this chapter was just amazing. There is no doubt anymore that Luffy will be accepted as an emperor by the community, and Zoro solidified himself in the level of first commander. But more on that later. Let's just get into the chapter. The title of the chapter says it all. We finally get to see what Conqueror's hockey can really do. The page shows Puddin applying eye drops, and honestly, I don't have much to say about this. Didn't really care about this. Just let's get right into it. We first see Big Mom falling off of Onigashima and asks Zeus to help her, but he can't. And Prometheus is trying to get away from Zoro, but isn't able to either. But you see that Zoro is clearly hurt. Kaido calls Big Mom an invalid and pathetic, which makes me laugh. Kaido's just saying what we're all thinking when it comes to Big Mom. Kaido then goes in to attack Zoro to get Prometheus free, but Law shambles him out of there and attacks Kaido with an injection shot, which actually hurts Kaido, which is really good to see. Not sure why Law hasn't used one of these attacks yet. Maybe he had to catch Kaido off guard since his hockey's too strong or something. But either way, Prometheus was able to escape, and so did Napoleon. Not sure what the hell Killer was doing here to let him escape, but either way, him and Kid go to fight Big Mom. So now the fight is being split up, Kid and Killer versus Big Mom, and that leaves Luffy, Zoro, and Law versus Kaido. Big Mom is mad at Zeus, and Prometheus asks for a favor. We aren't sure what he's asking, but we can see the clouds are darkening and swirling around. It leads to believe that Big Mom is making a different homie, maybe one that's more like Prometheus in a thundercloud form, but we're not sure yet here. We then go back to Kaido, and he's standing over an unconscious Luffy. And I figured he was going to be out cold after the last attack, and Kaido goes in for the kill here. Zoro tells Law that he has reached his limit and he's going in for one more attack. If it doesn't work, he's going to leave it all to him. And this is where the chapter goes off the deep end. Zoro, being the perfect right hand, stands up to Kaido and he says, "That's my captain you got there. You should take my head before you get ahead of yourself." First of all, I love this little speech. It's a throwback to Thriller Bark with the nothing happened moment where Zoro is offering himself to save Luffy. All the Straw Hats are loyal to Luffy, for sure, but Zoro's dedication is something else. Then we finally get to see it again. Zoro attacks using Ashura. He's only used this attack twice in the whole series, and not once post-time skip. It's been exactly 500 chapters since the last time he pulled it out. He used it back in chapter 510 versus the Pacifista, so it's really good to see it here. This hurts Kaido good here, and what happens next is the revelation that we've all been waiting for. Kaido confirms that Zoro has Conqueror's Haki. We always wondered what Ashura was, and there's so many theories out there that Zoro had Conquerors. I always thought he had it, but to find out that Ashura is his Conqueror's Haki coding, so to speak, it's some great work from Oda. He has done this with Zoro so much now. We find out that he had hockey back in Alabasta with Rio, and now he apparently revealed that Zoro had Conquerors before even Luffy was shown using it. Zoro first used Ashura back in chapter 2017, and Luffy first used his Conquerors in chapter 495 against the Flying Fish Riders Bison. That's just insane. Kaido mentions that this attack will leave a scar, and it goes into attack Zoro. Law tries to intervene, but is hit with a Thunder Bagua. Later in this chapter, we see that Law is still conscious. So this means one of two things. Either Law is a lot more durable than we thought, since one Thunder Bagua knocked out Luffy cold before, or that Kaido's actually getting worn down. I'm leaning more towards the latter. Like Luffy mentioned a few chapters ago, their attacks are doing something to him. You can see that he's breathing heavily here since Oda made it a point to show that he's huffing. He claims that if only they had joined him, they could have taken over the world. He's probably thinking they could have had been some sort of collection like the Rocks Pirates were back then. But Luffy gets up and calls him an idiot, that they would never join him. And now, sorry for those who believed in the raid will end in failure theory like Mr. Morge, but Luffy said the line that he always says before he defeats an opponent. He's going to send Kaido flying. He stands there and thinks back to Higoro when he's training him using Rio. And he finally understands the type of attack that Kaido was using and why he's so durable as well. He's able to code himself in Conqueror's Haki. Now, I'm not too sure how I feel about this exactly, since this seems like it's going to be something that will make armament hockey kind of pointless, since if you coat yourself in Conqueror's Haki, why would you ever need to use armament? Or maybe Conqueror's works to augment the other two hockeys. Who knows? I'm not sure. I'm sure we'll get more info later on. Then the real fight starts here. Luffy has entered the realm of legends. Back when we saw Roger clash with Whitebeard, their attacks were shown to not even touch. That was something that was speculated to be their Conqueror's Hockeys clashing, but now we have that confirmation. Then we see a sequence of attacks from Luffy, including that famous gut punch that he always does, and it ends with an amazing panel of Luffy giving him an uppercut with his newfound power. This was my favorite panel because it was a direct reflection on the attack that Kaido gave Luffy in the last chapter. And like I said in the last chapter, I can't wait to watch this fight in the anime. This is turning out to be one of my favorite fights. I usually don't like when shonens do this trope of mid-battle power-ups, but this was done well in my opinion. It's not something that he just has all of a sudden. Luffy trained to control his haki for 2 full years, and he's been training to understand how to use his haki flow through him. But this was when he finally understood that it wasn't just armament that he needed to use, but his conquerors. So it was the skills that he has been building up for some time, and now he's just applying a different haki to it. I love this, and I can't wait to see more. Luffy now has full confidence to tell Law and Zoro to go back down and leave the rest to him. He says, "Tell everyone, I got this." In the beginning of Wano, I remember seeing many theories on how they could possibly defeat Kaido. That maybe all the supernovas would need to team up, but Luffy would take the final blow or something like that, or that the Red Scabbards will come and defeat him. But this is what it should be. This is the ascension of Luffy. If you're into power scaling at all, this is Luffy entering Yonko level. In this chapter, we saw that Zoro has powered up and now has to work to control his Conqueror's Haki. But he is now being shown as someone worthy of being the right hand of the King of the Pirates. Someone that can one day surpass Rayleigh, the Dark King. And we can also see Luffy showing why he will be the next Pirate King and will surpass everyone in his way to get there. That was chapter 1010. Now, unfortunately, there will be a break next week, but we'll have 2 weeks to really digest what just happened. Give me your thoughts on this chapter in the comments below. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. This was the Sad Pirate King. Thank you and stay safe.